So, hi everyone, today in this video I will try to explain you what is the basis of economy that so can make you become a bit more smarter and so having a more essential learnings that helps you to, for example, have a more based type of opinion towards political discussions that you are included on, and so makes you someone that contributes for the future of your country by understanding better what are the proposals of any type of person that wants to go for this type of jobs. And so you selecting better, you have your decision maker type of process being better because you have better ways to perceive the reality and the knowledge that comes from these type of people. So what do you have to understand? What is the basis of economy? Economics, it tries to study how we should allocate the resources. Then what we should know, resources are scarce, we have scarce, so scarcity is something that we have to deal on, and that's why we bothered with how we gonna allocate, how we gonna spread the resources that we have. Because what, everyone understands that we don't work for free, so we work by incentives. And that's why the economy, if we look and if we think a bit, the economy that we have established makes that everyone has an incentive to work. But by having incentive to work, what they have to do to get these incentives that are mainly money, that's so gonna help them by using them to satisfy their needs to get food, needs to get clothes, every type of needs that are almost infinite in comparison with the resources that exist to satisfy all the needs that everyone would like to get satisfied. But what you have to get in count so is that we have to understand that the way that our economy has growth, it makes and creates a system that has obviously its deficiencies, but is something that's good. Because me as a person, I feel motivated to act towards so spending the energy that I have because I can satisfy my needs because the economy provides me. I know that if I work in a job, obviously depending job that I'm working on, but it requires as well my effort to putting on to get probably so the jobs that less ones will can conquer and can work and so receive better. But I understand that I have ways to maximize what I do like more, that's getting more money. But in that way, we create a system that everyone has this type of way to see. They want to satisfy their needs, but to satisfy their needs, what is essential? They have to satisfy the needs of the other ones because it's a exchange, a trade-off between energy and spending, and the energy that I spend towards my objective that contributes for the other ones receiving their needs getting satisfied. For example, for me to work to get money as someone that works in a company, I have to provide value for the other ones. And so we create a way that we're spending our energy in order to get our objectives and then so we feel motivated to spend and so to create. And what we create normally are things that are useful because what we create, it requires to get our needs getting satisfied, that's getting money. Money gets from people perceiving value in something that I create. And so this all creates a system that the scarcity is we kind of are fighting scarcity by playing with these incentives that everyone has, that for them getting these incentives getting done, they have to get as well the other one's needs getting satisfied. But other things that are important to look for economy, we have choices. By having unlimited type of needs and having a restriction in terms of the ways that I can satisfy them, whether it's resources, it's time, it's money, everyone has like limitations. So we tend to be what? Everything that we tend to talk a lot. Efficiency. We tend to prioritize efficiency. We like being efficient because it's having the ability to what we do, you produce more, having more output by energy, the time that I have that I cannot extend. And so as something that's important, it's something that comes as well the concept of opportunity cost that talks about that we always tend to act for the action that the ratio between what's the effort that is or the effort or things that I don't like, as money that I have to spend, time, any type of bad things that comes, the differential between what comes as better and what comes as good from the action, my perception of what it contributes for a main goal, the just like the liking by doing action, we tend always to do the better action. We tend to think, because our brain as well was made in the past, our brain was programmed to work in scarce environment. That was, our ancestors were living in the wildland life. So we're made to have this way to always look and maximize the time and the energy that we have that's limited to do the best things, and this as well contributes so for the other ones, and it's something that's important. Other concept that's important that determines a lot of what are the prices that we see in markets: supply and demand. And what it says, basically, what can be like the causes of the prices in products have been increasing. Probably because what the demand, that the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to buy, they are much in terms of, or like the search for the goods utilities is more than the supply. So the ability of goods and services that producers are able and are willing to sell for the people, and something that's common. And it's something that is having called our nature. People obviously they want to get their satisfactions and needs getting so met, and obviously they don't want to spend energies. In theory, what will be ideal is that we don't need to work to so get our needs. And so in tendency we have all, it's much more easy to have much more people demanding something that is the ability to supply. And it's something that even creates the inflection, because the reality is that we can be seen, what's like the way to be seen inflection. The reality is that inflection is the loss of value of the money that we got. So what happens if we have some type of supply that tends not to be able to get modified really easy, because the reality is that I've been taught the resources are limited, whether it's the time of the employers of the company, whether it is the energy that as well they have to spend as limited, the resources that they work as well limited, obviously they are depending and are outsourcing the resources, and problems in resources they affect so type of industries which so influence the margins that they have of profit, which as well, when the cost of production increases, they will, so to remain having a profit, they will increase so the price of the goods as well sell. And obviously these things, the supply is much more sensitive and to always to normally to have more problems, that is like just the ability to asking for things and goods that is much more easy to the ability to provide. And reality is that if the supply doesn't change and the demand change, and how the demand change, probably the constant increase of the minimal salary of people that they gain that minimal salary, but probably they don't generate value that so make him be someone that deserves the money that they receive. Probably as well the constant type of putting more money, creating more money by the banks and putting in economy, because it's something that you have to understand, the illusion that the problem will say by just making and printing more money. It doesn't work like that, because if the supply remains the same, the demand increases, what's going to create is even more inflection, because supply is seeing that there are a lot of people are demanding the thing. So what I say, if I cannot provide for every one of them, so if there are so much, what they can do, they try, and we can create a competition that I'm gonna put a higher price to get get accessible my needs and my good that I produce, and so just gonna limit it to other ones that have the ability to pay more than the previous one at as a lower price. But it's just intelligence, and we cannot just make it as people and the companies are exploring. Not, they have limited way to produce, and if the demand increases too much by this type of politics to printing more money, always wanting to give more money for people that don't produce, the reality is that supply demand got outbalanced, and so the normal way is prices tends to increase over the time. And so that's why we say that a quantity of money, 10 euros, tends to decrease always value over time, because the tendency is that this phenomenon that I have talked, it tends to happen in every, if you're gonna see for even mainly for the majority of way that the economy works in the world, that's by having money, printing. A lot of banks in all different countries prints. They have obviously the supply is always limited in every place in the world, and so we have all these problems that helps you to understand better this concept of inflection. Helps you to see and understand this simple concept. This is the basis that so helps you to get and be like, it's, I will not say that's already like the 20% of things that matters to understand 80% of economics, but by getting this type of matter that I've discussed in this video, you already get really good in what so we kind of face in the majority of our days. And mainly when talking about the economy, we deal a lot with price of the things that obviously gets so limited how much products and goods that I got. And so we now understand how all these dynamics works and help you to get better informations, people that creates better politics to, instead of printing and giving money for poor people because it's a permit that's gonna make him make me able to get more needs, probably shows the politicians that they try to, instead of invest money in creating more efficiency in the side of supply, to so providing more goods instead of trying to have a scarce type of goods, needs, utilities that are made, and focusing just having and giving power to the demand. No, have more focus in probably supporting companies, supporting entrepreneurship, to so have more supply type of power that the economy does need and requires to be sustainable over the time. So I expect this video help you, and see you in the next one.